Bowen, how'd you get started in sales?
So the way I got started in sales was I went to this course in my hometown where basically it would help me just get my painting company up and running way better than it was back when I started. And there was this one, the first day I got there, there was one kid that was missing and he was late. And when he came in, I was like, God damn, this guy has confidence. He's already cracking jokes with that, and he's late. And I was like, damn, who is this guy? So I was like, okay. So I didn't talk to him the first day, after the first class. And then the second class came around, and I was just too intrigued because when we were getting asked questions like, oh, how much do you think your business is going to create in revenue in the first year? He was like, yeah, I believe my business is going to be like in the millions. And I was like, fuck, man, I'm like limiting myself. Like everybody else too in the class was just limiting themselves. I was like, okay, this guy is really interesting. So let me go talk to him. So at the end of the class, I waited at the door for him to pass by. And I was like, hey, man, you mind if you tell me a little bit what you do? I'm just a little curious. And then we start talking a little bit. And since it's winter outside, he's like, yo, come to my car. So we sat in his car for like 30 minutes, just talking, just telling me what door-to-doors is. And he's been doing it for 7 years and how he got recruited and how you can make a bunch of money. And I had never like thought of that. So I was like, you know what? Hey, you wanna go have a breakfast on Sunday morning so we can talk a little bit more about it? So he's like, yeah. So Sunday morning rolls around. I go talk to him at the restaurant. But in my mind, I had already told myself and told my family, I'm gonna work for this guy, but for free. Like I'm gonna give him myself to him, and I'm not gonna ask no money. So I go sit down with him. I talk to him a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, Bowen, I'm creating this thing. It's called Club Rabais, where we're basically getting discounts from a bunch of a bunch of like companies and stuff like that, large and small." And I was like, "Yeah, count me in. I want to work for you for free." And he's like, "Oh shit, okay," because he couldn't even have paid me anyways, even if I wanted to join him. So we just went balls deep together into this, and we both weren't making no money at first. He was making me phone call people like from different places in Magog, Montreal, bunch of different places, and I would just cold call. I'd do like 70 to 80 calls a day, get rejected half, like most of them. I think I only like made one one or three people actually joined our community with me. But so yeah, that's how I started. And then he started going back in his roots where he had first started, where we basically landed deals with like garages and like cleaning cars services. So basically we'd like have like a package of like free services that the garage would offer and discount services that they also offer, and we would go to doors and just sell their promotion instead of the garage selling it. And we just knock on 160 doors a day just selling their promotion, and we go from town to town because we'd sell so many promotions that we'd finish a deal, then we go to a new garage, sell their deal, then go to a new garage, sell their deal. So that's how I got into sales in general. Yeah, it was a really good time. I really liked it, and I still like it.
Yeah. What was one of the first sales you had? Like maybe that first transaction that you remember. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
The first sale, I knocked on 238 doors. I got said no every single time. And we were selling the cars for $250. And I had this guy after 238 doors. He's like, yeah, it's interesting, but the garage is like 10 to 15 minutes from where I live. My garage is literally by foot. I can just walk there, drop my car, and then come back. I was like, yeah, I know, man. But you know what? I'll do it for you for 200 instead of 250. He's like, yeah, you know what? All right, let's go with that. So I sold him my first car. I gave my first card. I gave him a discount of $50, and it took me 238 no's to make one yes. And then my journey just skyrocketed. The last time I did door to door, I was averaging 1 yes every single 10 doors. So every single 10 no, I'd get 1 yes. And then you start thinking about it as a game because you're just like, okay, I just got to get said no 10 times. And then I know I'm going to get a yes. It's just when you work.
It's basic math.
Yeah, it's just basic math. Like it's when you work in sales, like it's just a game number. It's literally boils down to just being a game number. And when you figure that out, it's just fun.
Yeah. What would you say to a salesperson who's feeling discouraged in their sales journey?
It's a good one because I've felt discouraged many, many, many times. It's just don't give up because our hours was from sometimes it's 9 o'clock till 8 o'clock at night, or sometimes it's from 12 o'clock till 8 o'clock at night. And sometimes the day is rolling. You're getting a couple sales in the morning, and then it comes up to around 6 o'clock. It's always around 6 o'clock for some reason where you start feeling discouraged. But when you've got sales in the beginning of the day, you're more inclined to keep on going because you're like, holy shit, I just want to keep on going my streak. But when it's been like 5 hours, you haven't made one even sale, you haven't even made one sale, and it's like 6 o'clock. It's happened to me many times where I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go sit on a bench. And you like just go on a bench, you go on your phone, you just do nothing for the rest of your night when you still had 2 hours of knocking. And I would just say keep on going, because when I stopped doing that, I'd start realizing that even if I only have 2 hours left, in that 2 hours, or even just 1 hour left, you can easily make 2 to 3 sales more just because you put in the effort. So I feel like it's God that's given you a gift because you didn't quit, because he ain't gonna give you a gift if you just quit and go back go sit on the bench and just do nothing for the rest of the night. So I would say is just keep on going, because you never know when the next sale is coming.
I love that, man. That's good. What is one trait that separates a high earning salesman from a low earning salesman?
A really good question. Is basically it's just keep on drilling the customer. So when he says no for the first time, keep on drilling him, because he still has. I would drill him until he says no at least 5 to 6 times before I let him go, and I'm like, okay, you have yourself a good night. Because there's so many times where I've drilled him like 6 times, and then he's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Because sometimes the brain, it's weird. When you read the card, half the people, most of the time, they don't even remember half the services that you offered him. So if you re-loop, he says, no, oh, no stress. It's just because you told me that this service, and then you re-loop all the other services, and then you keep going even deeper in the product service. Like you keep on drilling him, because a lot of people will just get said no once or twice, and they're like, okay, he doesn't want it. But I've like drilled people like sometimes even like 10 times, that like even when they said no 10 times, I'm still drilling them because I know I'm going to make that sale. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, I like that.